Hello and welcome to the February 5th, 2026, 6:30 Select Board meeting. Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20F, after notifying the chair of a public body, any person may record or transmit this open meeting. This hybrid meeting is being recorded by the town of Stockbridge. The names of members participating remotely will be announced. Any member of the public wishing to speak must first receive permission from the chair. The agenda items listed are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, but not all may be discussed, and other topics not listed may be brought up for discussion by the public body as permitted by law.
I think,
And does she do that now?
yeah, she would just do it now.
And if you want to announce that you're recording.
Okay, I will be recording.
Thank you. The next on the agenda is a special permit hearing to consider the application for the property of J. Frank and Linda B. Russell, located at 4 Maple Lane. The applicant is requesting authorization pursuant to section 6.1.2 of the zoning bylaws, allows the extension, alteration, reconstruction, or change in use of a non-conforming single-family dwelling. The property is in the R2 zone. And would you like to present?
Thank you. Elizabeth Goodman. I am an attorney at Donovan O'Connor and Dodick, and I'm representing Frank and Linda Russell. They are the owners of the property. There's an existing house on the property that they will demolish and then reconstruct, and that's on a lot that's non-conforming, and that's why they're coming to you for a special permit under 6.1.2 to allow this change. And the table that's on the plans that you got right here shows the differences in the existing and the proposed. And you can see there is one change where the setback will be increased to 17. And on the rear, it is still well beyond the setback. It's extended more than the existing rear. So that's the way the house is expanded. No change in the side yard setbacks, and the height is within the maximum. And I have, in addition to Frank and Linda Russell, who are attending on Zoom and may want to have a moment to speak, architect Pamela Sander is here, and she, if it's okay with you, would like to describe the proposed building.
Well, I was fortunate enough to design the Russell's residence next door. Was it 20 years ago?
Close.
Close. We haven't aged one day since then. So, and they came to me, they purchased this house years ago, and their kids have been kind of staying there in the summers and everything like that. Now the kids have children, and they said, Pam, what are we going to do? And I looked at the house and realized it really wasn't worth saving. I did go to the historical commission, and we did get approval that it was not a historical building. Frank and Linda have slept there, but it's not important enough to.
And can be demolished.
It can be demolished, right, right. So, I mean, I can start at the site plan and explain, unfortunately, that it's a really tight lot. So I put it as wide as I possibly can on that lot that's legal, with a special permit, to develop it. You basically, enter on the first floor. There's a primary bedroom, which years to come later, Linda and Frank may move into here, because it will be accessible to them. Their bedroom in the existing house is second floor. Pretty simple kitchen, living room, screen porch, and upstairs, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. Architecturally,
It looks nice.
I went with typical, more of a Pam Sandler look and more of what the Russells would like, more of what a traditional cottage would look like on Stockbridge Bowl. It's very much in keeping with their cottage too. So, it meets all the height requirements, per the town. It's
And it doesn't, if I didn't make it clear with the chart, it doesn't intrude more into the setback.
It's not more
It
non-conforming.
improves the existing non-conforming.
So
setback.
technically what you're asking for is you're on the north side, require 35 feet,
Right, you can't get.
which you can't get. Right now it's 15 feet, 8.5 inches.
Right, so we're gonna go further away.
You're gonna pull it away,
I'm
it's
pulling it away over there.
2 feet.
Correct. Right. That's
Okay, and then in the back, you are going another 20
really
feet
far
back.
at the rear.
But that's,
Still is within the
you're still way,
Yeah,
way beyond.
right. You can see on this, I can look at the site plan, so. Explain it.
Yeah, that's why this table is nice, the required setback from here is 35.
the fire setback is 35, next
Where it's-
thing is what, 232?
So this dotted line right here
Yeah,
is the non-conforming setback, okay? This is the 35-foot setback. It goes right through the middle of the house, so you can see we really can't develop it at all. The front, meets setback, it's 36'11" right here. So this side's
okay, yeah, okay. So
32.4.
required 35, you're 232 feet away.
Yeah, at the rear,
And-
way back here.
And you're going 20 feet more farther down.
That's on this, right, on
But
this,
that's-
one of these sides
But
right
that's
here.
right here already.
Correct, right. I don't think that,
Well, you're going 20 feet more.
this is the existing.
Yeah, we have
You're going 20 feet?
No, sorry, here's the
Yeah, there's
proposed,
the
which
one.
shows that we were at we're at this, the 15, and we
Yeah,
pulled
you're
it
going 20
back to
feet,
this.
but you're still
right.
way.
Yeah.
We're way far away,
Setback.
yeah. And then
Right.
this is the Russell.
And then we were asked to discuss the Conservation Commission. Mike Kulig is applying for the Russells. I looked at their schedules and it looks like, there's one they just had one last night, I think, and there's one in 2 weeks. I don't know if he'll make that. But then there's one a month from now. He'll probably make that. But as Pam said, we really can't relocate the building. So it would be other kinds of mitigation on the lot that hopefully
Yeah,
wouldn't concern the structure.
conservation said, can you
Yeah,
make the building
yeah, that's not
wider?
our,
Yeah, and that's not your purview.
that's not our jurisdiction. So we gotta consider the 17, moving this back 2 feet, and the 20 feet of going back, which is both
An improvement over existing.
in our bylaws, within our,
And then can we condition that you're not going to take this green porch and make a,
No, we won't make it into a room. Okay. You hear that, guys?
You could just, the screen porch can't be turned into a room. It has to stay as a porch.
The special permit will say we have to comply with the plans we gave you.
right, but
right.
I know a lot of times that
Sometimes we'll
happens.
add that, saying that.
They're like, we
Because
just-
somebody, they sell it 10 years down the road and somebody buys it, wants it close.
I'm always
Oh.
wondering who the police person is. Because
I know.
On the historical
It's-
commission.
You have to be
some
honest.
things are
Oh, it's hard.
And they do what they want.
They fall through the
So
cracks down the road.
Yeah. Do we want?
But if they pull
Yeah,
a,
did
they pull a building permit, it'll be
Right.
the Senate permit.
you want to hear from Frank and Linda Russell?
They're dying to speak.
Yeah, well, I'd like to speak to our residents we don't see.
Sorry, well, we're here.
And
You hear where?
Well, I don't want to, we're down south, we are full-time residents of Stockbridge, but as we've aged, we've sort of said, maybe some of those winters are a little tough, so we.
What's the temperature down there?
Well, it rained today. I want you to know.
oh,
I want to know what the temperature is before we speak to you.
I would say it's
I'm wearing a
60
sweatshirt.
degrees, 60 degrees.
Oh,
Six?
that's better. That's a lot better.
Well, I think it was 20 here today. It was warm.
Well, it started the day in the 30s. I mean, it's been cold down here, just
I
like.
heard it snowed in Cuba for the first time in hit recorded history.
I can say we're not in Cuba, so that, you know,
And it didn't snow. Very good.
but,
Can I ask how
So you
long?
lived in Stockbridge for many years?
well, we bought our cottage, which then became our house, thanks to Pam. We bought it in 1993. So we've been in
Okay.
Stockbridge, and we've been full-time residents and, you know, Massachusetts taxpayers, Massachusetts voters since 2000 and I think 12 or 13. And, you know, we love living in Stockbridge. We've got our friends now in Stockbridge. We've served Stockbridge. We like Stockbridge. I mean, you know, we can both go through a number of things. You know, I used to be on the Finance Commission. I think I knew Chucky a little back then. I met Georgia that way. I was on the Finance Committee for a while. I was treasurer of the golf club. I've been a finance guy, so I get to be of a lot of things. I was treasurer of the Stockbridge Bowl Association for 7 years in the early 2000s. I was president of the Beechwood Landstock Association where we live. I was roads commissioner of that. My wife has been on the board and volunteered for CATA, which I think you all know, and Literacy Network. And we continue to do that stuff. I left the finance committee when we started coming down here because we come down here when they do their work. So it didn't make sense for me to stay on that board. But we're very much involved in the United Church of Christ there on boards and stuff like that. So we've really gotten involved in the community. It is our community. And we really, I think Pam said, the cottage that is at 4 Maple Lane, which is next door to us, is really not, I would guess it's fair to say, not in very good shape. It's old wood. It was probably, I guess an original cottage, but it's old wood. The fireplace doesn't work. It's got holes in it. You know, there's really no way you could save it and quote unquote improve it. And we wanted to have a place not only for our kids, but maybe even for us with a bedroom on the first floor because stuff happens when you get a little bit older. So that's why we're here. And, you know, we hope you understand and understand. We're trying to build a place, as Pam said, that's not a big box. It's a fairly nice looking New England style cottage. And that's what Beechwood is. And, you know, as you know, in Beechwood, some places are now getting big houses, big boxes, which are not, in my opinion, the most attractive, but that everybody's can make their own choice. But we've tried to keep it a little more in the context of the community that we've been in for 35 years or whatever the heck it's been.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for them?
No, it's nice to hear from you. Nice to hear from Stockbridge.
Nice to see you guys.
That actually talk nice. Thank
It
you.
is actually nice to see you without any snow being around because I know you have some up there. So
We got a little bit. We'll shift some down to you if you need it.
no, you keep it up there.
Okay.
Okay.
So can I have a motion?
You want to make
Go
a
ahead.
motion? I'll make a motion that we grant it with the 17-foot, 8 3/4 inch
Mhm.
impact, the 20 feet from the back and the street porch. Just not getting close in any
To a better.
to our 4-season grow. 3 seasons, fine.
Lovely.
And then I'll second. All in favor?
Hi, Georgia.
Hi, Chuck.
Hi, Jamie.
There you go.
Thank you for Stockbridge.
Good luck
Thank
finding,
you very
good luck
much.
finding
Thank you, all of
contractors.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, this is public comment. We have 2 minutes and up to 10 minutes. So anyone.
My public comment is thank you very much. You guys are good volunteers and I appreciate
Thank you.
all your hard
Thank
work.
you. Anyone in Zoom land that wants to make a public comment? Seeing none, I will move on. Let's take action on a 1-day wine and malt license for the Berkshire Botanical Garden on January 13th.
February. There's a,
Mine says January.
I know, but
Okay.
the actual application is February 13th.
Okay, so let me for the Botanical Gardens on February 13th, which is a Friday, from 4 to 6 p.m. and on February 18th from 5 to 7 p.m.
And February 20th, because they added another one
Where?
from 5 to 7
Okay.
Where?
Nope.
on here,
Yeah.
on the application.
Is there more? It's on my sheet, there isn't. And February 20th, 2021, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m.
So can we,
May 20th.
should we have to wait on that one? And do it next week?
You don't have to list the dates on this because it's not a hearing.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll make a motion we grant the 3 variances.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Seeing as that moves, passes. Let's see what's up next. The Conservation Committee has requested that Bill William Ressaterets be moved from the alternate to full member of the Conservation Commission. Can I have a motion
So moved.
and a second?
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So passes, we'll tell them. And presentation of the budget of fiscal year 27. Michael, do you want to start that off?
Yes, so you guys have your books
Fine.
with the budget inside of them. We have the capital budget and the operational budget. This is the first draft of it. So this is the first information that you guys have received on it. I'm anticipating there will be some changes. The school budget is not in there, so we've yet to receive the school. We did get our insurance numbers. Those just came in last week, so 8.75% increase. So that was some good news. All the department heads have submitted their things, but what I'm going to do is let me turn on the screen saving. And I got to log myself in. Put up on the screen. There we go. Zoom. And I'll go to the final points of the budget. Where am I connected to the internet?
And not for tonight, but is there any way to make some of these charts a teeny bit bigger? Like the print, like it's, I don't know.
Yeah, I can try to make it bigger, but there's.
All right.
Not sure
I could
time
get-
right now.
Oh, wow. Wow, it gets smaller. Huh. Okay.
Let me see if I can jump on Wi-Fi. It's, I got booted off the regular internet.
Look at this one.
Have a little bit of technical difficulty.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, it's hard to read. Yeah, better glasses.
Very. Blue eyes.
I don't know.
Try again.
Wow. Maybe it'll be bigger on the screen.
Yeah. I tried to make them as big as I can. Some of them are difficult. I guess I'll have to get readers. I know I haven't put the readers on.
I have to get some number 3s. You know it's upside down.
All right, there it is. Let's go. There we go. All right, just checking to see if we're getting reverb still. That's not happening, so. All right, so here's the first look at the draft budget. This is really a continuation budget of the budget of the last few years. For most of the departments, we have a flat service budget. There's just adjusted by known cost drivers. The main significant change is the fire EMS budget, which, as the board is well aware, we're embarking on the establishment of a fire EMS system with West Stockbridge. And in order for have us up for the 2028 fiscal year 2028, we're going to need to bring on some of the positions right now. So is that the capital budgets that you're in, or the regular? Here, we're in the regular budget. So and this budget does not include the Berkshire Hills School budget. This budget, reflects measured and responsible fiscal management. We maintain existing service levels while accounting for known costs such as the enhanced fire EMS system. Right now, the operating budget is up 2.6%, so $342,444. Being driven by public safety, employee benefits, and contractual obligations, while most of the other items remain flat. At the end of page 3 of the capital budget, you can see that these items are our major ones, and you can see the adjustment at 2.6. Public safety is up 8% overall, and that reflects quite a bit. Employee benefits is up 90,000, another, like I said, a large driver.
Is that health insurance?
Yeah, health insurance, but we really benefited because the retirement system is fully funded.
Okay.
So there used to be an additional payment on it in order for the retirement system to become fully funded. You can see by the chart that's on that page that we've seen where our biggest adjustments are. In the last couple of years, we have really made some investments into public safety, which has been the biggest driver of our budget. While the budget's up 2.6% based on this budget, additional revenues that we'll be receiving and the rest, the tax impact right now is at 0.6. But I do caution the board, we don't have the school budget in at all. This is just a reflection of the town budget. We're going to see an increase of about 177 in revenues. Fire EMS department. So that is an overall increase of 325. This is the single largest department increase. We're adding 4 personnel next year. That'll get us up and ready to be operating for fiscal year 28. We've been working on this for now 3 years. I know Chuck's been actively involved ever since we began exploring this years ago. And this is a service level and safety driven cost. I don't see this as an optional increase if we're to bring on a fire ambulance EMS system. Now, I know one thing that is of concern, we are embarking on the fire station. We've gone out, we've put out an RFS for design services. As you can see, one of the big things that's going to be happening over the next few years is that in fiscal year 2032, we're going to have a significant reduction in our debt payments.
Is that yellow?
Yep, you can see where it went from blue to yellow.
Mhm.
That's from fiscal year 31 into 32. So we're going to be faced with a couple options, which could be we could pay down the debt a little early to bring that forward if we need to. We could also look at when we go to fund, if ultimately we do decide to build a new fire station, some of the options available could be doing the first year or two as interest only payments and then bring on the full debt for the remainder of it. So there'll be a bunch of options, but what I'm just pointing out is there is a target area where we could bring on a significant amount of debt for the fire station without changing the tax base cost to the residents. So what would happen is instead we would borrow back up to the roughly $1 million that we're at now. So, because we're at right now, 972,000. So, that would allow us to borrow in the neighborhood of $8 million without having to impact the tax rate at all. So, it would be a good time for us to bring that on. I figure in the next couple of years, we're going to have the station itself. We're going to understand the cost. We're going to get all that lined up. And like I said, then we can explore options such as paying down the debt, interest-only payments at first, or what our options are to get us to 2032 when the town can really handle taking on a debt payment without seeing a significant increase to the tax rate. So this is just trying to plan because I think we need to always be looking out at least 5 years.
And when does the school estimated to be?
Well, the school's going to be hitting as a debt exclusion, probably mainly in fiscal year 28.
28, so
yeah.
that's the.
But that won't be our debt, that'll be the school's debt,
Right.
that'll come through on the school budget, and it will be excluded from the levy limit as
Okay.
was done through the vote. Health insurance went up 241,000. This
Wow.
includes 8.75 additional 5 position plan adjustments outside of local control. We're in the Berkshire County one. So they did get together. I did attend the meeting where they discussed it. And it's one of the most common upward pressures across municipalities.
So you say 5 new positions?
Yep, I'll get into that as we
Because you
Go
said
ahead.
4.
Yeah, 4 in the fire. Yeah. One advantage is that the reason why you only see the employee benefit line going up 90,000 as a whole is that while health insurance and additional staff, the retirement costs came down because the retirement system for Berkshire County is now fully funded. So for years, there was an adder on top in order to get the
Okay.
fully funded, and now we're fully funded. So there's been a significant decrease in the amount of that. One of the things we did move to was using an outside accounting firm. I would like to return back to a town accountant position. While I think overall it's been okay, not having that position directly I don't think works as well. What I will be proposing is I know there's very much an interest in our treasurer tax collector moving into this position. So what I will be bringing forward to the board is transitioning our treasurer tax collector to the accountant position and then hiring a new treasurer tax collector. So it's adding that position back in. The other position that I am considering bringing forward to the board is wrapping up a whole bunch of part-time and side positions that right now we're paying $65,186 toward, and consolidate them into a single full-time benefited position. That position would be paying $43,000 based on the scale we established a couple of years ago, and then the remaining funds would be appropriated toward employee benefits. So we can, as we go along in our budget meetings and stuff, I will elaborate more on why I think this is a good one to bring in.
So then that's adding another one that's not 5, it's
So it's
6.
6. Then it's 6.
So it would be, right, because the treasurer tax collector, I'll have to change that slide.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's in the
It's like
calculation
6,
right now.
Definitely.
Yeah, it is.
So that changes the calculation.
No, the calculation is already
Is right.
is in the system. Yep.
Okay,
For
but
all the
then-
positions and the rest. I just got to change that slide. All right, we do have 2 challenges facing us specifically with the budget, which is the water and sewer. So sewer right now, based on estimated income, the budget, the debt service and the rest, the percentage expense budget percentage is how much of our income versus expenses. So right now, our expenses are going to eat up 99% of the income coming in, which is only going to leave us a balance at the end of the year if we hit our estimated income of $4,814.71. Sewer is not in a terrible position because sitting with 191,891 in available surplus, we can make up that $4,000 by just appropriating from there in order to balance what's being proposed. The problem is that we're going to now see the available sewer surplus be paid down, and we're going to continue to see the amount of that net change between budget and estimated income is going to go negative within the next year or two. So,
I
yeah,
thought we were in the process of getting rid of the surplus and getting it to.
we got it now to a good percentage. You don't want to still run.
We don't want to try.
You still want to run at least 20%
Yeah.
above your expenses, above your income. Income above your expenses. You don't want to be sitting that tight.
Okay.
So we are getting tight in the sewer. The last time we adjusted rates was 2020. So it's been 6 years since
So it's time to adjust the rates.
it might be time to adjust the rates. I think with a small tweak of sewer, we can set the rates again. If we were to make a 5% adjustment, we should be able to set the sewer for the next probably 3 years at least, keeping it at a positive position. But that brings us to the one that is much more of a concern, which is water. Water right now, and this shows up in your budget sheets also, the water and sewer rates. The estimated income is 376,000 and the budget is 410. So what's happened with sewer is we take a 4-year average for the income. If you look back at the sewer was bringing in about 350,000. Last year, it only brought in 322,000. So even using a multi-year average, the amount of water use is going down, and combine that with the budget going up, the costs are now 34,000. Right now, as is, the water department would run a negative 34,000. Now, there is 126,810 in available surplus. So there you can see where there's a line called retained earnings, and we could take the water surplus and apply those retained earnings to the budget and balance the budget again. But this one's going to take a little more to make that adjustment. This might, because we have a combination of the expenses going up for water and we have water usage going down, what it's doing is putting double pressure on the water budget. So that might mean we're into doing an annual analysis of the water budget and making changes as needed as we go along. So that one's going to be a big concern as we move forward. So.
What is the average sewer bill
So the average sewer bill,
about?
I actually have the charts of what we charge. I can pull that up. We have different rates set based on the household, so most are on fixed. And they go anywhere from about 200 and I think it's 223 down to 600, up to 600 depending on your bedroom count. So
I was just curious, like how much the increase would be. Would it be like $100, like 200, like how much?
So
Raise it.
yeah, if we were to raise it, it's in the neighborhood of $30.
Oh, okay.
And
So we do our sewer per
twice a year.
bedroom.
We do the one sewer, a lot of sewer is on a flat rate. Well, water is almost all but 5 homes on water are on meters.
Yeah.
So water fluctuates. 287 of the homes on sewer are fixed rate. So you get a
So we
fixed
all pay
payment.
the same?
Yeah.
Okay,
And then there are some people on sewer, but it's slightly less than half that are on the variable.
Okay, some towns, the sewer rate is based on percentage of your water usage.
Right.
So if we were doing that, we'd have been in
Well,
trouble.
we have
We'd have been in trouble with the sewer because the water rate usage is down and the sewer usage
Right.
is down.
Yeah.
So we're good at the way we're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. But it is a concern now.
And the water rate's going down because of,
less water
Less
per
water
house.
usage.
yeah, but is there, is it behind it? Is it?
Not that we're able to look. One of the things that we can look back at is there seem to be people staying here longer and everything else during 2020, 21, and 22, the COVID years.
So then it's
And
probably
since then, our flow of water has gone down.
that to people's.
Or did people, maybe they got water saving devices or
Houses that have been built have waters,
better?
systems
Yeah.
that are better, things like that. So you can look at a whole combination of items,
Yeah.
but water is incredibly susceptible because it's both variable and the costs are going up. So we're getting hit with both less usage and costs going up, while sewer, because it has less variables, because it's fixed rate, that one will be easier to make adjustments and changes. But if we make a change to water and the usage continues to go down, it might force us again to have to look at the rate more on a yearly basis.
So we need a dry summer so people can water their lawns, use
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
No, just joking. But yeah, so
And
we gotta,
Is the
yeah, that's a hard thing to predict,
It is.
very hard.
Yeah, and that's why you want to carry roughly a 20% surplus between the two instead of that. So the last 2 years, we've seen the water usage and the amount of collections significantly drop in water.
Which in one way is a good thing,
Yeah,
conserving water, but the other way it is affecting the operating budget
Collections.
of the
Yeah.
water department,
and is it salaries or like the mechanical
everything,
or both?
both,
covers everything.
but I would say the driver has been, it's a combination of both, but the consistent one is going to be employees
Okay,
and benefit costs and the rest. Overall, the plant itself, they've actually, Mike's put forward a level budget, but the level
Okay.
budget still doesn't help when we've
Well,
had
that's good.
shrinking usage of the
Okay.
water.
okay.
Just to highlight the capital budget, so we have our starting balance through a bunch of our accounts and from stabilization free cash, all of our surpluses and the rest, $11,631,000, very solid overall. I am proposing that, and one of the reasons why you saw that our receipts would be, is once again, I'm going to recommend that we use OPEB money to pay. I recommended last year we cover the medics. You will see on so it's 115,000 to cover medics. It'd be 240,000 to cover all retirees. Last year, the medics account was at 434,000 after we spent 155, and it's now at 4,800,000. So it did grow by another $500,000
So we can use it,
despite us pulling out 155 last year. So
then we have to, how much to pay, cover everything?
to cover everything would be 240. So, and you'll see when we have further meetings, I will be bringing
So
forward.
it's the same
discussion.
amount we got in interest, basically.
No, we grew,
You said-
we grew by
Oh,
500,000.
500,000.
Yeah, we went from
Okay.
4,340,000 to 4,855,000. So,
Okay.
yeah,
So we can take half the interest and pay the whole
you
200.
could propose
Keep it
to
off the
pay
tax
the
rate.
whole amount. You could just pay the medics amount, which would allow us to continue to grow the account. Or you could go Right, you could do either.
But
If we were to do that, you would pretty much offset the changes in the budget.
but if we spend 115,000, we ended up with how much interest?
Well, last year when we spent 155, it lowered us to 4,300,000, and
Yeah.
now we're at 4,800,000. So the interest was 500,000. And we,
So if we even use the 2.5, we still got the 2.5 million ahead, plus the interest we're gonna have on it top of this year. So
Yes.
it's,
you can,
why put any tax burden on it when we have the taxpayers' money sitting there working? Pay
absolutely.
the whole thing
It
and
is still growing,
keep our budget down.
right?
And it's still gonna get a high interest rate coming in.
Yep.
That will cover that plus.
Yep, and that's, this is ultimately the board's decision, but if you want me to apply, see what it looks like applying the entire
I would, and then
the
we'll get to
entire
finance committees.
retiree cost, I can do that too. We have all those numbers.
Yeah, I'll definitely look into paying the whole amount, see what that does with our budget.
All right. As far as free cash appropriations, so we have certified 1,983,186. I'm recommending that we pay the last 2 years of the Lee ambulance and Lennox ambulance contracts out of those amounts. We did start talking about a replacement of the trucks, because if you guys remember the highway trucks, we bought 3 trucks in 2 years.
Yeah.
And one of the things we want to do is spread them out, but it's way too young to trade a truck. Yeah. So I'm going to push that. I'm not recommending that one at this point.
Right, because we bought a whole bunch.
Yeah, I talked to Bob, see what ones can stretch longer
Yes.
and ones so we can get back on our schedule of not replacing all at once.
Right.
Back.
And you'll see that I actually have a plan where we'll replace this one. If we replace the first one next year, the following one 2 years after, and the last one 2 years after, the last one would have got to 10 years.
That's fine.
And then we get all of them to 10 and we cycle them in between. So there's a pattern.
Yep, get back on our, we lost that.
Yeah, we did. There's some smaller ones in here that we might end up pulling out if the budget can sustain them this year.
What is ambulance supplies?
So ambulance supplies is the first year that we're going to run our ambulance, which if we're going to do 2028, we're going to need to purchase the items at the end of 27. It's all the medicines, everything that we're going to need.
To put into the.
Yes, to put into the ambulance. Now, once we're up and running, you're going to get reimbursements back. And one of the things that we're going to talk about as we get into the budget could be setting up a revolving fund and taking those receipts, put it in the revolving fund, and then using the revolving fund to replenish the stocks that are needed.
But initially,
we're going to need to outfit the ambulance. And because if we're going to be up and running in fiscal year 28, we can't wait for the budget of 28 to buy it. We need to get the stuff in 27.
Okay.
So that's a big one.
It was big.
Yeah. The phase 2 inspection of the dam, I have just in there a placeholder of 150,000. I did talk to our engineers about it. They thought that would be a good one. And then one of the things coming up that's going to impact fire and police is radio upgrades. Years ago, the county's switching to a different band. The whole state is. They're going from 600 to 800 band, and we got quotes to do the police and the fire. Fire's in pretty good shape. The police radios are pretty old, so I'm recommending that we do the radios for the police this year, and then we do the radios for the fire department once we're up and running. Our radios work right now. I don't want anybody to think that they're not working, but they've been talking for, I don't know, it might have been one of the last years Georgia was running. They've been talking about moving to the 800 frequency. Yeah, Chuck, you were right. Well, and it hasn't they keep telling us it's about to happen. But we have seen a lot of things such as the state taking over the dispatch centers and the rest. So I think that we do need to move along. A lot of the communities around us have already made this upgrade and move. So
This is a dumb question. Didn't we buy radios last year
we bought repeaters.
Yeah. Okay.
For the cruisers. Yes.
Okay.
Not radios. Yeah.
Okay.
They help the radios.
So you can see
Well, they
here,
help the radio.
this right here, and I'll be, you don't have it in your packet, is I begin working on a 5-year plan, first for our vehicles and equipment, roads, bridges. You're going to get all of it as we put together what the next 5 years looks like. So this right now is the vehicle fleet schedule. And what it is to try to keep the amount that we would need to upgrade our fleet and try to spread things out so we can balance it better. I know it's a little hard to read. I will consolidate, get rid of some of these numbers. Some of them are just numbers that I need to get to the department heads that you guys don't need to see, so I can blow this up a little bigger in the future. But it spaces out, we buy cruisers every 3 years, and then we skip a year, 3 years, skip a year, 3 years, skip a year, and that keeps our police department modernized. If we begin replacing the trucks at the fleet over the next 5 years, that will get us, like I talked about, get us the last vehicle in year 10 of it, and then the rest of them, then we'll be replacing every 10 years, which will allow us to space out the purchases. Ambulance is going to be right off the chart in the next year 6, because it won't come in until year 20. This year, and then 5 years from now, we'll have to buy another ambulance. So you're going to constantly be shuffling there. I did add the radios in here for fiscal year 29 for the fire department because we only have the cruiser lined up for that year, and then some replacement of other smaller vehicles. So just trying to space everything out so that we don't get hit with the same.
In the ambulance, we're going to look at some maybe alternative ways of
Yeah, we
getting
can
the ambulance.
explore
We're
those
still
for our
looking,
next
we have
ambulance
to,
purchase.
what we talked about before.
Yeah,
So that may not be on there.
yes.
I have a question.
Yes,
You have van COA, 18,205.
yep. We've applied for a grant to replace the Council on Aging van.
To the what?
A grant to replace the Council on Aging van.
But we don't have one now.
We do,
Yeah, we do.
but
We gave it to,
it's still our van, and the use of it by the Berkshire County Connector out of Great Barrington lowers our cost to be in that program, but it's still our van.
oh,
This would replace our van with a newer one, and that would be the balance that we would have to pay, and the rest of the cost would be picked up by the state. It's in a state transportation grant.
Is
Okay.
that the fair share thing or no?
I think it's part of that there's a
Okay.
transportation element in there. We're working with our partners with the Tri-County Connector, with Great Barrington to go after improving the fleet. But it's still our van. We did not turn it over to them.
oh, okay.
But they do use it as part of the program. And there's a couple other towns that supply vehicles into the program also. And then the overall cost. Yeah.
The state, what, a 4.4% increase in local aid, does that help us out at all?
It did. And that's part of it too. That's about 20,000
Oh, that,
for us.
okay, it helps, but.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
That's why we would see overall about 177,000 in additional revenue.
Okay.
And by the time we're done and through, we would still have a balance of $10 million in these various accounts. Free cash would be at the 5% that we set, 688. The remaining funds would go into the stabilization, putting us at 2.6. We target our stabilization at 1.3, so we've almost doubled what's in there. So there are some things coming up, such as dam and other stuff. So we're in good financial position, strong reserves. Most of our fleet has been flipped, and now to get us on a schedule for replacement should keep our vehicles not aging more than 10 years. It's another big factor in the 10-year one is Maya changed its policies so that replacement cost on vehicles is only for the first 10 years. After that, you only get the actual cash value. So they used to insure vehicles. So it used to be like, all right, I got a 15-year-old fire truck. If something happens to it, they would replace the whole thing. Now they won't. You're only going to get the actual cash value on vehicles older than 10 years. So that's something to consider. So this is just a first snapshot, first view of it from the department heads submitting the rest. What I'd like to do is just place on the agenda going forward, continual discussion on this. And then also, continue the discussion with the, finance committee. And whatever boards or, departments people would like to have come in to discuss the budget. Once I get the school numbers, I'll update the entire sheet. I'm also going to send you the electronic version, which has the feeder sheets for these documents, if you remember last year, which gives you a lot of information. And I will see what I can do about blowing up these as big as I can make them so that they're as readable as possible. I did make sure there was page numbers this year. So, yes.
Georgia, do you have any questions?
Not yet.
I look it over and stuff,
Thank
but,
you. Any announcements?
well, it's like the highway and all that for the job with all this massive snow we had. They put a lot of hours and stuff, and we appreciate the effort and the time they put into keeping our streets clear. Thank you.
Second that.
And more snow this weekend.
And more snow. Our next meeting is next Thursday, right?
Yes, snow court hearing.
The Elm Court hearing, which will be Friday or Thursday, the
Thursday.
12th
Yep.
at 6:30 is our next meeting. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.